Hello, my wonderful people. So today, hopefully you can't hear the wonderful sounds of summer, of the industrial lawnmower that's kind of mowing the lawn in my front yard right now. Hopefully you can hear my voice a little bit over top of it. But I thought today what we would do is a scenario where you're visiting your family, or maybe you're staycationing somewhere, a camping trip for a decent amount of time. You don't have any weights, but you do want to maintain your strength. So this workout is going to be about 40 minutes long, body weight only. And hopefully wherever you are, you can find a chair or a couch or a bed that you can use as a prop for your workout. As always, shoes would be preferable, but hey, if you forgot your running shoes, that won't stop you. Still do this workout without them. It's totally fine. And make sure you have some water, just so that if you're out of breath, you can certainly take a little pause the video if you need to, and have some water, catch your breath, and then come back to it. So like I said, it's about 40 minutes long. You're just gonna warm up for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna take you through total body movements. We will be going up and down off of the floor, so make sure you have something with you so that you can use that if you need it. And yeah, let's just get started. So as always, I'm gonna get you to bring your knees up nice and high, shoulders back, core is active. So this is also a really nice one to do if you're outside, maybe just outside on your back deck in the sunshine. You don't need weights. You can just use a bench that's out there, or something, of course, that's sturdy. Not something that is light and can move, because that's dangerous. Butt kick behind you. Make sure you don't kick anything with your heel. I've totally done that. It's not nice. So just make sure that it's always free space behind there before you do those butt kicks. And you're trying to get a little bit more into it every time you kick back. So you really do feel that stretch in the front of the leg, maybe in the knee area. 10 more seconds. Breathing nice and deep. And you're good. So I want your feet about hips distance apart. You're gonna reach down as low as possible, hands and knees, or your knees and your hips do bend as much as possible. Your hands do not have to touch the floor. You are just going down as low as you can, so it might look like this, or it might look like this. But essentially it's the hips themselves that push back, knees follow. And as always, when you stand up, squeeze your glutes so that you protect the lower back. Keep going. 5 more seconds. Last time here. And good. So keep that nice wide stance with your feet. Arms are up at shoulder height, and you're just twisting side to side. Feel free to lift up that heel so you don't hurt your knee. And you're feeling dizzy. It's probably because your head is not liking the fact that it's swinging side to side. So to keep your head facing forward, that's totally fine. You're just really trying to loosen up the spine and the lower back a little bit. And good. Feet come back to about hips distance apart. And we're going to do some shoulder circles, just to loosen up the neck muscles, especially if you had to drive a long distance to get to where you are. So if you're camping somewhere and you had to drive a few hours, shoulder circles are a really, really nice one to do when you get out of the vehicle to loosen everything up. We're going to turn those shoulder circles into arm circles. Try and get that arm as straight as you can and as close to the ear as possible as it goes back. If you're really tight, especially if you have an injured shoulder, that's okay if one looks like this and one looks like this. You just be gentle, no sharp pain in the shoulder area. And you're gonna have your shoulders back and down. Stand tall, core is active, shoulders are back, and I want you to tilt your head to the side. So you're really trying to feel the stretch in the side of the neck and in the shoulder. Come up, and then you're gonna tilt to the other side. breathing deep. Come back to center. Just a couple shoulder circles to put everything back into neutral, and you can have some water. So we're just going to start nice and easy first, and then we're going to work our way into it. I'm going to make sure that if we do end up on the ground, it'll be near the end, so you don't have to be up, down, up, down, up, down all the time, because that can be a little rough on the knees. So first, just a normal squat. Feet are about hip distance apart. Shoulders are back and down. Core is active. I want you to push those hips back behind you, knees follow, and then come up. So you push back, squeeze those glutes, push the hips forward. Try not to do this motion. It's all in the hips, knees follow, and depth is up to you. The lower you go in that squat, the harder it is to stand up out of. Hi, Smudgy. Yes, he's probably wants some cuddles in about 20 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see if he lasts. Last time here. And good. So I do want you to take this chair or bed or bench or whatever you have, something that does not move when you're using it. And we're just going to be doing nice, slow chair burpees. I know we're getting right into the burpees here. It is a shorter program, so we're just going to get it going. Now, anything that's not moving, that's what I want you to do. You can definitely have your hands down like this, step out into a plank position, come back in, stand up, reach high. Or if you want it a little bit harder, or if you have issues with your wrists, you can come down onto your forearms, step out, step in, and then stand up. Okay, so your choice as to which one you want to do. Take your time with it, try it both if you'd like. You can start with one and finish with the other. We're gonna go for 30 seconds. Go ahead, down, come back in, stand up, reach high. As always, when you're coming out of that plank into a standing position, you do squeeze the glutes and stand tall. So if this is getting too hard for you on the forearms or feels awkward, you can just have your hands down on the chair for the straight arm plank. Last time. And good. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go back to those squats. We're going to make it a little harder this time with heel raises. So essentially, you're going to be standing on your tippy toes when you come up. Feet are about hip distance apart. If you do have issues with the ankles, the hips, something like that, your feet cannot come into this position, don't even worry about the heel raise. Just continue doing those normal squats. Feet are about hip distance apart. You're going to push back in those hips when you stand up, tippy toes, come back into a normal squat, tippy toes. So as high as you can come up on the toes, the better, so that you really get the feet activated and the calves working. It's also a balance exercise. So if you have to have a chair or wall beside you, feel free to do so. 3, 2, and perfect. So we're gonna go back to that bench or chair. You should be a little bit out of breath now, which is good. On your forearms or straight arms, ready, set, go ahead. You step out all the way into plank, both feet come back in, stand up, reach nice and high. Out to plank, come back in, stand up. Your core is gonna be activated here. And if this gets too much, you can absolutely have straight arms like this, and then reaching up nice and high. Last time. Perfect. All right. One last time. Squat with a heel raise only if you want to. Feet are about hip distance apart. Shoulders are back and down. And you're going to squat down, up on your tippy toes, come down, up on your tippy toes. So at any time, if you do get sharp pain in the toe joints or maybe the Achilles tendon, anything like that, you don't have to do that last heel raise part. You can just stand up in a normal squat position. One more time here. You're gonna go down, step on your tippy toes, and good. Okay, one more time with that chair, bed, bench, burpee. Come down nice and low, come back in, and stand up. You're halfway through. So again, just kind of check in with your body. If you feel any sharp, bad pain, you modify up. It'll look like this so that you're not putting so much tension on your shoulders. And you're good. Breathe deep. Have some water if you'd like. I'm just going to put the chair aside here. Now with this one, depth is up to you, as always, when it comes to squats and lunges. It is a balance exercise, so if you do want to have a wall or a chair, the chair will be in front of you, but essentially, it's the depth that's going to throw you off. I want your arms up in the air. You're going to chop down into a side lunge, come back to center, arms come up, chop down into the other side, come back up. So when you do this, this foot has to step out and you have to come back in. With that side lunge, if you bend into the hip a lot, you go down deeper, or it might just be a baby lunge and then you come out of it. That is up to you and you can change it at any time, okay? Feet start in neutral position, arms up in the air. You're gonna chop down, squeeze that glute, come back, chop down to the other side, squeeze that glute, come back. You're trying to have your belly button pulling into your spine the whole time. And obviously breathing nice and deep. This is also a shoulder mobility movement. So you are fighting to have those arms as straight as possible, and you are swinging them up towards the ceiling so they can be beside your ears when you stand up. And good. Okay, so you don't need any chair or anything like that. This is just going to be pure endurance for your shoulders. Feet are about hips distance apart, shoulders are back and down, and I want you to do big arm circles, not like the warm-up. This is at shoulder height. Squeeze your glutes and keep your arms as straight as you can. The fingers will point generally up towards the ceiling, and especially when you're going back with those arms, you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Stand nice and tall. Now you should feel them really reacting here. Keep going. And now I want you to make little circles, little baby circles, keeping the hands up at shoulder height, keeping the elbows as straight as you can. A little bit of bend in the knees so you can squeeze your glutes. Keep going. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. You can just kind of shake your arms forward to loosen them up. See, you don't even need any weight to make your shoulders feel it because they're usually pretty weak. So we're gonna go back to that side chop. Feet are about hips distance apart, and you start with the arms in the air, and go ahead, chop down to the right, come up, chop down to the left. Very much like the squat, you push the hips back first, and then you propel yourself up and straight by squeezing that glute to come into neutral position. If you find that your knee is going over the toe, it's not a good situation for the knee to be in. The hip has to bend first, the knee will follow. Last one here, and good. Shoulders are back and down, feet about hip distance apart, just full neutral position. And you're gonna do big arm circles. Don't forget to breathe with this one, because your shoulders are so close to your brain, it's a little hard to be like, oh, just keep going. It's okay if they fatigue, it's no big deal. They will get stronger. Try and squeeze those shoulder blades together. 5 more seconds. And now I want you to do little circles. Little baby circles. At about shoulder height. Try to keep your head neutral. Don't let it poke forward. Stand tall. Core is strong. Breathe through the pain. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. Shake your arms. Breathe into that nice, relaxing wiggle arm there. Okay, we have one more time. So your feet start close, and you have to start with your arms up in the air, because if you don't, you'll get here and be like, I don't know where to go. Okay, so have those arms up. Now chop down. So this third set, you should be feeling those shoulders. And this is where you have to fight for that range of motion. Pull them back beside the ears. Reach those arms up tall. Core is active the whole time. Your glutes will help you through it. So don't forget to contract those glutes. And you're good. Arms come down, roll your shoulders a couple times. Last time. Whew. You guys ready? Mentally prepare yourself. We're gonna do the big arm circles first. Go ahead. Big circles with straight arms. This one's tricky because your shoulders will want to creep up towards your ears. Don't let that happen. Keep your shoulders back and down. This is all the shoulder blades and the arms. You should feel that burn now. You have 5 seconds. 3, 2, and little circles. Whew. Little baby circles. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Squeeze those glutes. Watch the neck, don't let it poke forward. 10 seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and whew. Relax those arms. Shake them around. Shake them around. Do some shoulder circles. And you can have some water. So before we go down onto the floor, we are going to do some stretching because we're standing, so we might as well just do it now. So wherever you are, whether it is on the bench, maybe you can find the leg of a bench or the couch or even the bed leg is fine. Maybe there's a dresser that would work better. Essentially, you're trying to find something that is not moving. You're going to put that toe as high as possible on the wall or whatever is there. Heels on the ground. You want both hips to push forward so you feel the calf stretch. Now you might feel this in the toes, in the arch, in the heel, but mostly it's going to be right up the back of that leg, maybe into the back of the knee. As you exhale, I want you to push forward a little bit more. Stand tall, and it's the hips pushing forward. You're not like this. You stand tall and then push forward. And you can switch to the other side. Toe nice and high. Heels on the ground. And then you lean into it. And they might not be equal. So especially if you've broken an ankle in the past, or maybe you just have a muscle imbalance where the calf is tighter, one might look like this and that's it. It's not going any further. That's okay. You inhale nice and tall. Exhale, you push into it. So even if you don't physically see that movement, every time you exhale, you're trying to stretch a little bit more so that eventually you're going to get closer to the wall or touching the wall. Breathe deep. And good. Shake out your feet a little bit. Find that bench. The bed is going to be okay to do this. If it's not too high, it should be okay, but preferably something that's actually solid that you can sit on the edge of so that you can cross that right ankle over the left knee, sitting up nice and tall on the spine, and then I want you to push forward. And when you push forward, you'll immediately feel that right in the butt hip area. If you've had knee surgery or your knee is really, really tight, you'll probably feel this in the knee joint as well. So with stretching, you are breathing into it, always trying to push forward and relax the muscles so they can go a little bit further. Now with this one, depending on your knee, if you feel sharp, bad pain, that's not a good pain. So you do ease off, or you might want to just have that knee up a little bit. That'll take the pressure off, so when you lean forward, it's more in your hip, not in your knee. So just be careful with those lines there. Switching to the other side. You sit up nice and tall first, then lean forward into it. If you are perfectly level with that leg, you're leaning into it and you're like, yeah, I could probably go a little bit further. You can also push with the same hand, push that bent knee down towards the floor. And again, you'll feel that stretch quite a bit nicer in the hip and the knee area. Try and relax the shoulders. And lean back and come down. Perfect. Okay. Have some water first, because we're going to make our way down to the floor. So if you are outside on a deck or something, go on the grass for these ones. Or yoga mat is totally fine. Bath towel, that works. Really, it's just something that is not such a harsh bend in the knees when you're going down on concrete or wood, okay? If you can get on the grass, great, or carpet, even better. But have that chair ready. I'm just going to scoot this camera down just a smidgen. There we go. To use the chair, if you have to get down on the ground, you're going to put your hands on the chair, step back just a little bit, kind of like that chair burpee we were doing, and you're going to bend into the knees so that the knees are going to be on the ground. If you have issues with one knee, most of the pressure is going to be on the other leg and your hands, and then you're going to kind of step forward like this, crawl on the ground, and then lie down on your back. So you're alone, you're at home. It doesn't matter if you like flump onto the ground. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just try not to hurt yourself or land on random animals that might be behind you. Okay, so for this one, you're lying on your back first. We're going to do bridge hip lifts and cross crunches. So for the bridge hip lift, your feet are going to be about hip distance apart, and your heels are going to be quite close to your butt. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, and then what I want you to do is lift the hips up, squeeze those glutes, and come back down. So you lift up, squeeze, come back down. You want to hold it for about a second or two, just so that you can really get those hips activated and hamstrings activated. If you feel too much pressure on the neck, it's probably because the shoulders need to be tucked under a little bit more so that there's a nice flat surface for you to work with. Keep going, got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and good. I want you to straighten your legs, rock your feet side to side just to loosen up those hamstrings. And then you're going to bend the knees so the feet are on the ground. Cross crunches or the modified half crunch. Your hands are going to be behind your head. The hard version is your feet are up in the air and the knees are bent. The feet never touch the ground. Your opposite elbow is going to go to the opposite knee. The other leg goes straight out, and then you switch and switch. If this is too hard for you, even halfway through, you put the feet on the ground. You're going to cross crunch, lift that opposite knee to meet that elbow, bring it back down on the ground, and then you switch to the other side, bring it down. So try the full cross crunch, and then if your lower back sharp pain gets in it, modify. Okay? Ready, set, go ahead. Try not to reef on your head. This is all the upper abdominals doing that work. Fully extend that leg straight out. The more range of motion you can fight for, the better. Really pull that knee towards you. Twist as much as you can. If this starts to hurt, it'll look like this. One knee comes up, then the other. And relax. Tuck those shoulders underneath you. Reposition the feet so that the heels are nice and close to the butt. Core is active. Squeeze those glutes. We're back to the bridge hip lift. So I want you to lift the hips up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come back down. Lift the hips up. Come back down. You are, once again, fighting for range of motion in this one as well. So the higher you can get the hips, the better. It's really good for extension in the lower back and getting those knees working. Most pressure is on the shoulders and the arms, not on the neck itself. 3 more seconds. You can do 1 more rep. And straighten those legs. Rock the feet side to side. Breathing deep. And we're going to do those cross crunches. So, hands behind your head. Feet are up in the air if you'd like. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And you're just switching side to side. Your abs should burn, and your hips, that's fine. Burning and crying muscles, ignore them. Okay? It's the sharp, bad pain that comes from the lower back probably. Maybe the neck area if you have an injury. That'll be like, I'm warning you, I will injure if you keep going. That's the bad pain. So if that happens, you modify down like this. And relax. Breathe through the belly. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. 1 more time. We're doing those bridge hip lifts. Go ahead. Hands are right beside the hips. Lift up. Come back down. Squeeze. Come back down. I swear, Smudge just likes to have this moment with me because he thinks that I'm just yelling at him in his face, and he finds it very relaxing to just chill on the floor while I'm yelling in his general direction. 4 seconds left. And good. Straighten your legs. Rock your feet side to side. And last time with those cross crunch or half crunch. Ready, set, go ahead. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Other leg straight out if you can manage it. If you start losing your posture and you don't have the strength to fully extend that leg and you're having to arch the lower back or reef on your head, those are all signs as well that you cannot control proper posture. So then you modify down so you can have proper posture. A few more seconds here. And relax. Breathe through the belly. And because we're here, arms going to go into a capital T position. I want you to lift your feet in the air. The knees are bent to 90-degree angle. And you're going to drop both feet to the right. This is a stretch, beautiful stretch for the lower back, the arms, the hips, everything. So take a nice deep inhale, fill the belly. And when you exhale, you're going to push your hips forward so your knees can stack. And that shoulder, the left shoulder, because I'm twisting my knees to the right, is pushing down into the ground. So you're twisting the upper spine and the lower back. I don't know if you can see Smudge right now, but he's adorable. Hi, buddy. So cute. Keep your feet on the floor. Come back to center. Reposition yourself. Lift the feet back up in the air. And you're going to twist to the side. Deep inhale. And exhale, push those hips forward. Deep inhale. And exhale. Pressing the shoulder blade into the ground. Getting that chest stretch. keeping the feet on the floor, very, very gently coming back to center, and you're gonna hug the knees in towards the chest. I'm gonna get you to roll onto your stomach. We're gonna be doing modified push-ups here. So essentially, modified push-up is you start on the ground and you end on the ground, but you're pushing yourself off the floor in between. So, you're lying down on the ground. I'm just gonna flip this way so that you don't have that sticker in the way. All right. Hands are gonna be shoulder area, elbows are out beside you. Core is active, squeeze the glutes. Once you're on the ground, I want you to push off of the ground to your knees and then come all the way back down again, okay? If you can manage a knee push-up, the torso never touches the floor, you're just going down and up. And you can start with that, but once your back starts to sway or your neck hurts, you go all the way down to the ground, you physically rest on the ground, and then you push yourself off the ground, okay? Ready, set, go ahead, up and down, up and down. At any time, feel free to take a little mini break on the ground and just rest there and appreciate, the floor. It's nice to just rest on the ground for a little bit. Last time here. Relax all the way onto the floor. Your arms are going to extend beside your hips. This one, you'll probably have to use your glutes. This is a back extension exercise. So I want you to lift your head, lift your shoulders. The hands are reaching for the heels. Arch the back. Feel that contraction, and then relax all the way back down. Lift up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Feel your lower back. And relax down. One more time, lift up. And relax down. Bring the hands beside you, back to those modified push-ups or normal push-ups. Ready, set, go ahead. Push off the ground. Try to keep your hips flat. Don't tent your hips. Don't do this. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, can you keep your hips flat while you go down and up? If you can't, you train your body to do so. You lie down, you come up, you lie all the way back down again so that those hips are flat the whole time. A few more times here. Last time. Perfect. Lying down on the ground. Arms straighten out behind you. Breathe deep. Use your glutes. You're going to lift up. Squeeze those glutes. Reach back. Arch, arch, arch. Come down. Lift up. And come down. And lift up. And come down. Last time. Hands are right underneath your shoulders. And go ahead. Push up and down. So again, with these ones, the arms just might be too weak. They can't hold you there. So then you rest all the way down on the floor, breathe, and then you come up and you come back down. So just take your time with it. Push-ups are hard. Last time here. And relax onto the ground. Arms coming behind you. Use your glutes. And you're going to lift your head up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Arms reach back, back, back. And relax. Lift up. And relax. Last time. Lift up. Feel the lower back contract. And relax. Hands are underneath your shoulders. I want you to, do use your glutes, but I want you to arch up, and then I want you to push back into child's pose. So it's a wide stance with the knees, feet coming together. And as you exhale, I want you to push the shoulders down to the ground. You can also use your arms to push back a little bit further so that the hips go closer towards the heels. Breathe through the belly. Hands come underneath your shoulders. And you're going to push up to a kneeling position. Now, kneeling position, very, very good for the hips and the knees, but it's tricky for a lot of people. So if you can't do this, you'll probably look like this, and that's fine. To practice, you're just going to gently push back, probably the knees, and then you lean forward and take some pressure off of it. So as needed, try to sit up as tall as possible. Breathing nice and deep. We're going to do cat-cow pose. So if your wrists hurt because they're in this flex position, you can make fists if you'd like. Your feet are going to, your knees are going to be about hips distance apart and the hands directly underneath your shoulders. When you inhale, I want you to arch the belly, look up. And when you exhale, tailbone comes towards the chin, empty the belly. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, curve. And this will be at your own pace of how deeply you can inhale and how deeply you can exhale. Regardless of your speed, you are trying to fight for more and more range of motion as possible. So you really crunch everything in, squeeze those glutes, and then drop the belly, arch up. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Bring that spine back to neutral. One last time, pushing back into child's pose. So wide stance with the knees, feet coming together. Yeah. He's such an attention hog. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Back to that kneeling position. So, you can come to a seated cross-angle position if it's more comfortable for you to have your legs come straight out. That's totally fine. We're just going to do a neck stretch. So I want you to sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed away from the ears so that the neck is in neutral position, and you're going to tilt the head to the right, breathing through the belly. If you want a little bit deeper stretch in those neck muscles, the chin is going to rotate down towards the floor, and you'll feel those scalenes stretch. Bring the chin back to neutral, and then looking up, shoulder circle, and switching to your other side. Tilting your head, breathe deep. If you need to, you can also tilt that chin down towards the floor. Bring the chin back to neutral and bring the head back up. Couple shoulder circles just to stretch. So I have a video of just stretches. It's like 5 minutes of chest stretch, calf stretch, quad stretch, that kind of thing, if you need that. But otherwise, that's your 40-minute workout. Super easy-ish. Not too easy, but it does get the job done without any weights. So hopefully you enjoy it. Maybe try it outside. Let me know how it goes, because I don't know. I'm planning on doing some outdoor workouts, but the mic is the biggest thing. I don't think that these headphones are good enough for that. So I'm going to have to do some research and find what I have. But anyways, hopefully you had a great time. Hopefully you're having a great day. And I'm so happy you're watching. Bye for now, and I will see you soon.